Hello everybody, heroes of the Greek Sea with the career mode or career for Planet 2. We're going to start off with the first one. This is going to be the tutorial one. We just have to go and play it with. So yeah, we're going to play with the house Godwin. So Godwin house. So let's go and play it and see what it holds. I have not actually played this when I played the beta version. I just played really quite a lot with my own franchise mode, and I didn't really play the other thing. So I think for me this is also quite new, but I've seen some videos what it does. So it's going to be a little tutorial, the first one. So hopefully we can have this one finished today, and tomorrow you will see another video. But yeah, there's going to be franchise mode. Godwin 2.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Blanco language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire. Even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
I think this all actually doesn't look too bad. Runch. Locate the grizzly different replay. No.
Hello there. From that
Ah.
rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
This game, damn you, man, looks freaking insanely good.
Did
This
you
look.
know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Of course, you just had to go and walk. Oh, oh, what?
See now, this is
Uh,
a fantastic way to get a close look at your
okay.
animals. You can also get this view of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
Are you
Okay, when
kidding?
you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a
Oh,
look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
look at that. I didn't know the bears could do that. Like, can they claim on that? Holy shit. Then you have to really like make that. Oh, is it the lion one? No. The lions were on the other side, of course. Over no, that's the elephant one. I think. No, this the hippo. I think the hippos are absolutely ginormous. But that also can be like if you compare them like to the other guys, I think they're quite decent. Ah, here the
Panthera
lions.
leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
Sure. Oh, this is a really cool show. It looks quite nice. And he got an elephant. Oh, a baby one. I had one before in beta, and they looked really cool. I think it is this one. No, I don't think it's this one. I think it is here in the beginning. Right, this one. Right? Hi, I'm here.
As you
Missy.
can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something. Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Oh, right. Okay, adopt and adopt.
There
Sent
we
to
are, a
zoo.
pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
Oh, why not? uh, Alright,
When
they
you
should be
adopt an
getting it.
animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat,
I already have
which,
done that.
as it
I'm
happens, you
walking
are.
ahead of you,
So how
miss.
about you move them into their new home?
Hmm. Already have done that.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Eee. That's one of them. Not bad. That's the first one. And then I think we have to go to habitat, I would say, to get these things built for them. Are they correct with like their terrain? No. What? Okay. Oh no. um. Did I screw it up? I think I did.
When you
Oh.
ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will
Oh.
go to the
Oh.
trade
Okay.
centre,
Like that.
collect your
Yeah.
animal, and deliver
Okay.
them to your
Oh, lucky.
selected habitat.
Thank you.
I've marked the trade centre's location, so
Whew.
let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
I was a bit worried. Well, it would have been something. So what do you need? Enrichment.
Well,
Alright, so
as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
alright, so now we go to habitat. Water water bowl.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station, and for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
I already have done that, but I'm going to remove all these because they are not
Animals also require
correct.
stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a
No! Oh,
lovely
no, that
mud
one is
bath
actually
for the warthogs
fine.
to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Oh, so many. Alright, so let's go towards habitat again. And place one enrichment down. Mud bath. Sure.
Oh, Nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this
Oh,
place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and what's-its all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat.
oh.
It's over near the hippos.
I don't think I can do anymore. Alright, over here.
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Oh, can we pause the game?
Ah, that's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built.
Oh, I
Okay.
don't know.
Job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier.
Not
Every
bad.
habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Okay, Missy. The dirty things can reach it. It can't reach it. Oh no, no, no! Please don't. Ooh, close by. Mm, where are ya? Ah, here. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Added barrier. Oh, I have to build a gate. Oh, like this. So,
Right.
okay.
Let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Okay. Well, there's that.
Good work. Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Oh, I can already no longer do it. Yeah, like that.
There we go. Adding in more windows gives guests
All right.
even
Okay,
more
this is going to be
opportunities
a
to see the
deal.
animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation.
Oh,
Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. By
adopt
the
the
way,
ostriches.
as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish. All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think?
I want to do it like
Let's
this.
get 4 of
Ah,
them in here.
perfect. Okay, that's quite nice. You can actually do that. I didn't know that. Feeding again, the
While we
same
wait for them
thing.
to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
What do you need, mate? Hungry and thirsty. Some terrain. Terrain is good. The plans not good. No. We can't move it yet. Just yet. Really cool those. I must say, this is a really cool station. Have they all been arrived just yet? The Goodwin Zoo. While we wait, we can take a look around it while we are doing that. Enrichment item, I don't have placed down yet. Okay. Where are you? There you are. Okay, well, I think we're going to
Whoa!
continue.
Good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their
Alright,
legs. Did you
boom.
know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh,
Very
heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Alright, next one.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut.
Why not?
Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Damn you. Annoying. Alright, and
You'll
we
need to rotate the keeper hut to get it to connect up to the path.
like that. Nice. Done. Alright, I've done
This
that.
keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time. Oh, but bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests. Guests don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness negatively. In case that wasn't clear. Something that all facilities, shops, and a whole host of other objects need is power, and that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut. So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
I suppose that's why we couldn't place down.
Now, the reason everything has gone blue is because you're using the power heat map. This map allows you to see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So, once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off.
Okay, what? The highlighted area? This one.
Lovely
Oh!
work. Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos. Let's get on to your next objective then. Bengal tigers. We want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away. Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch. And concrete and glass, I expect. So go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier.
Sure,
Oh,
Missy.
and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
I think we also have to increase it because I'm pretty sure that they can't spring. Their jumping is like around 3 meters. Can we raise it like to 4, 3.5. No, 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 no. No need for that. There's a few pieces. All right. Yes. Okay. A little bit higher then. Just a little. Um. So I increase it like 70 or for good measure to 4. Yeah. Okay. Complete.
Now that the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Are you kidding? Oh, stop, idiots.
Okay, that's the habitat boundary complete, the habitat gate's in place, and most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
Oh, really? So much? There's going to be something if you want to get them. Send to zoo. And to trade center. You as
Whilst
well.
our trusty caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival. We'll start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Can I get the food? Nope. Okay. Yeah, it's nice, but I need food. I can't get it. Oh no, okay, now I can. We're going to make like over here, I suppose. Just right in the center.
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Add food enrichment.
Yes, that'll do nicely. Of course, just like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why don't you add some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat? Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely, the bad weather. Although, given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
Of course not. Going to make it so ourselves.
Oh, poor Dabs. I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat. Select a tiger and bring up its information panel.
I'll do it with that. Yeah.
Rightio, click on the Terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
More or less all the plans you put in beforehand. I think that's all. Oh, looks nice, but we don't need that right now. Alright, that's all. Let's go to nature and the plants. Although I think we
Okay
need the
then,
rain
open the
first.
terrain editing tool,
Also
select painting, and
fine.
give them some more soil.
Alright.
Yes, that should help with the habitat part of their welfare. Right then, all animals need plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, or Asia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia.
I know, I
Although if
wanted
you
to
have to, you can get away with using just one or the other.
Asia.
The tigers will also
Cool.
want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To
Sure.
find out which plants to use and how
Yes.
many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab.
Uh-huh.
Now, as you can see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like
Already
the
fixed
wattle
that,
bushes.
man.
You can remove them if you
Oh.
want.
If you want. No need for it,
You
though.
can find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Oh, they actually had backbone. They actually wanted it. Huh. I think they're fine. Only a little bit more short grass, if I'm correct. A little bit more short grass. What you need me just to do? Okay, it's plant welfare. Tonight. Oh. You need more plants? Okay. Let's get a little more then. A little bit more bamboo. Oh, perfect. Nice.
They say the good fences make good neighbors. I
Ah,
guess that's
prevention
doubly
ship.
true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger.
Okay, we're going to locate
Still,
which.
those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave, even if you did poke a hole in their fence. Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Oh boy. I must admit, I would like the home location try and get this a bit
Right,
gone.
let's head over to the Indian peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
Alright, where's it? The Indian peafowl. Alright, that's over here, right? Pretty sure about that. Select habitat.
Now then, just find one of the peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese. Expand their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail. Right, as you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop to the animal market then. Good work on those peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
I am pretty sure that is over here. Oh, what is that thing small?
Just like people, animals can suffer from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests. Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural biome, it's probably going to be too hot or too cold. Unsurprisingly for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather, you should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
It's too hot.
As you can see, we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered. can find heat maps for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them. It'll take a little while for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters, but now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopards' terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock, so let's make that happen.
Reverse the snow leopard because I then can I have a look at what he wants, what she wants, what she wants then. Um, Terrain and more rock, mostly snow. Actually, let's do this then. Let's make it all dirt so I don't have any more of that. And then we go for basically all rock. Or you also like a one there. Still too much soil.
Now then,
Nah,
all of that
perfect.
should give you a pretty good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats. That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic. Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
Oh, over here as well still. Jesus. How much did they got? Well, alright. The zebra. Uh-huh. Okay. It's only the terrain, right? Only the habitat, like the terrain. I'm pretty sure every one of them will have a little bit of a problem. Knowing this game. These are lemurs. Okay, good. These ones. Too few longas. Better. Yeah. Um, Tiger should be okay already. Uh, let's go and trace it up towards like some ground, some light soil, a little bit extra of that instead of. And did I fix it? Yep, more or less. Uh, Lions. Uh huh. Or we might also have to go and change up to possibly their oh, it's a bit too much of the rock. So we have to add a little bit of rock. It seems like it here. Oh, still too few. Um, let's go and add all of this. Perfecto. What? Thank you. Alright. Which one we have not yet done? This one. The Shiraz and Japanese. I think we might also have to do. Okay, over here the lions. Got a feeling. I think it might also have to do with if we have to do an environment, like also have to increase their like plants. I think the plants might also be a thing that we have to increase. Right? Yeah. Okay, we'll also do plants. Oh god. Where is that? Dutchman? Hmm. But the rest of the plant seems to be fine. I'm pretty sure that might also be the one. An average of 19. 19. And where are the wolves? Wolves have wolves, I'm correct. No, there's lions. I have here. No, also good, yeah. Pink plants. Plants is all fine. Are you still happy with your plants? Coverage. Too much coverage. Remove a tree. Did it help out? Mm. Bracken, where are you? Nature. Could do is I can pick up. Oh. Oh, we don't have rocks. Okay, fine. I suppose the only thing I have to do is like plants. Over here, you're fine with your plants? No, too much coverage. Oh. At least I think that's the thing that we have to try and change up. Gotta reel it in away. Did it help out? Not at all. Okay, let's take a look on if that is really the thing that we have to do. Okay, I'm really not going to do this tedious thing though. Because that is the only thing that positive to do is just change up the career mode for that. I really possibly going to do it my own in my own time. But for the next episode, we're going to start off with the next playthrough. And I think if we go to the main menu, we're going to go now. Go to save this zoo. No, save the zoo. New save. Godwin house. Yeah. Alright. So we're going to the main menu. This is the first part of the career mode of Planet Zoo. So with the Godwin House and how you do that. If you think others have like for this, please leave a like. And if you want to see more of the campaign of Planet Zoo, we're definitely going to continue with that as well. So if you think others have like, please leave a like down below in the comments. And I hope to see you on the next one. Please leave a like as well. And again, this was Hero of the Greeks. And next time, wait a second, I'll be back. Alright, here we are. If we go to career mode, the next one is going to be uh, Ma Madagascar, right? Madagascar Sima Conservation Project. Okay, that's going to be interesting. It is again a tutorial, but I suppose if you don't want to do that, I think what we might going to do, because these are all going to be tutorials, and I rather would just play the campaign. I think we're going to do the Eye of Tiger, the wildlife park, and I think that is possibly something I think would be more interesting. I will possibly, maybe I will do that instead, like have like two separate parts, one with tutorial and the one that's just going to be the career mode, because I already know how to play it, and for those of you that will want to see the tutorial, those ones will be uploaded upcoming Saturday and Sunday. So take a look at that for that if you're interested in that as well. So, but next time with the career mode, we're going to do um, Maple Leaf Wildlife Park. So if you're interested in that and want to keep up to date with my latest videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow we'll have another video. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. It was Heroes of the Greeks, the Planet Zoo, and have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one once again. Bye bye.